This video is going to discuss last minute armor farm and preparations for Titan mains for Renegades. I have discussed Warlock at length. Now this is the Titan video. Titans, be prepared, because some of you are going to get offended in this video, but we've got to seek the truth. We've got to remain authentic. Your opinion will not change mine. It will still stay the same. I hope you understand that it's coming from a place of kindness, not a place of nastiness. But sometimes you've got to tell people the way it is. There are only 3 sets you should be concerned with as solo player for Titan mains that you should be chasing for these armor sets. Number 1, TechSec. The reason why is because TechSec works with the kinetic lightsaber, and Bungie are developing a new elemental shield that I am suspicious TechSec will work with. Not only that, 2-piece and 4-piece TechSec work incredibly well with bolt charge high weapon stat builds. I recommend you get a 4-piece TechSec build locked in for bolt charge Titan. Right? You can also lock it in for melee-centric builds as well. Next one is Ion Adapter 2-piece, because Final Blows with Mint Retrograde, Rocket Launcher or GL adds a 20% AoE damage resist, plus 60% self-inflicted explosive resist. Ion Adapter's meta. Smoke Jumper is the best set in the game right now, 2-piece offering a 45% DR on Orb Power pickup. Titan mains are orb generation machines, so you're getting 45% DR for free. That which stacks with Frost Armor and Woven Mail and all that stuff. 4-piece not worth it, 2 pieces. And you're going to combine 2 pieces of each. For example, in this example, 2-piece Smoke, 2-piece Ion Adapter. Boom. Damage resist with Mint, damage resist on Orb of Power. See how these are stacking. Or we could go 2-piece TechSec and 2-piece Smoke. Depending on what we're doing, if there's a lot of shields and such. And if we're not using Mint, then we take the 2-piece, we can take 2-piece off to replace with 2-piece TechSec. So there you go. Those are the armors you're chasing for. Where'd you get them from? You get Smoke Jump and the TechSec from solo ops and Fireteam ops. So let's just inspect this engram to prove it to you. There you go. You are going to solo farm any solo ops with bonus engram drops. So say for example Salt Mines, 3 drops plus 1. I could get 4. That's 4 chances at Smoke Jump. That's 4 chances at TechSec. So you're going to do that, right? On top of what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the solo farm for Inside Terminus. Yeah, we're going to go over the card later on. However, you can farm Reclaiming Matchmaking. You're getting 6 drops. And if any of them's featured for Smoke Jump, do them. Do them to get the stat distributions and such. However, Reclaim's very boring, but it's there. You're getting 6 drops. That's incredible, man. So that's to be mentioned about. But if you're tired of Reclaim and you want to solo something, you could solo Reclaim alternatively. But we're showing you Inside Terminus today. Because it's quick farm. It's less than 9 minutes. You're getting multiple drops. So there you go. That's where you get that. The next set is from the Loot Cave. Ion Adapter is from the Loot Cave. Mythic. It has to be on Mythic and you have to have done the quest for the Ion Adapter set. We'll show you about all of that and where it is and how to get it later on. So there you go. You've got the base information. The archetypes. Right. Out of 10 on Titan. Gunner set. 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Good for bolt charge Titans, but not much else. Bulwark Armor is a PvP. 0 out of 10. Specialist Armor is a 9 out of 10 for Titan because it holds a lot of strength with bolt charge Titan high stat weapon builds. Grenadier, whilst is not as strong as what it is on a Warlock set, so Grenadier armor set is actually pretty weak, probably 6 out of 10. Paragon is 11 out of 10. It's 100 out of 10. It's the best and most important set that you need for Titans. Brawler set. Brawler set's okay, but this is where Titans mess up a lot, and we'll discuss about that. So Brawler set's not that good. It's okay, but not that good. Alright, so you've understood that. Now stat distributions or stats. Health is a PvP stat. Bungie needs to rename the health stat to be called Recovery, because that's what it is. It's based on recovery. Your shields recharge more quickly and have additional health when facing combatants. Your shields have more health. This is a PvP trait. It's for in and out gunfights when you're behind cover and then you peek out and then you don't. PvE is completely different to all of that. You do get more health on orb pickup, but it's not worth to spec for. Only Conquest Avalon is it worth to spec for. Lawless Frontiers is not going to have health regen, so people are thinking we need health for that. You may do. I have an answer for that as well. Melee is the best stat for Titans to spec for. Grenadier, poor, as we've said. Super is so good. Super is incredible to spec for on Titan. Class stat is good on bolt charge, but not much else. There is some other builds though. We'll cover that. Weapon stat is always important across all characters on any build that you do, generally speaking. So, now you've had that bit. Now we talk about the different ways that you can build Titan. There are only 2 ways to build Titan. There's not, well, there's less than what you think. There's 2 categories. Category number 1 is, where we at? Category number 1 is high weapon stat bolt charge Titan builds. Category number 2 is melee centric builds on Prismatic Titan in most light infos. Yeah, and it also includes Icefall Mantle, Berserker, Icefall Mantle Stasis, Berserker, Wishful Ignorance or Symphoseps, Sunbreaker, Wormgod Caress and Symphoseps. All melee centric builds. Look at this. You've got 3-4 centric builds there. Sentinel is the question mark. Sentinels get massive reworks and I cannot give you information about that until I play with it. I am not going to be able to share with you about Sentinel Titan today. That will be at a later time. It's a support Sentinel style build. We're not talking about it until I get to play with it. I'm not giving you misinformation until I know how this is going to be. It's simple as that. I'm not discussing it. So there's only 2 main ways. The third way that people are building Titans is... I don't know, what's this? Oh, that's fine. The third way is Ashen Wake. Grenade builds. Heart of Inmost Light, Armentarium, Ashen Wake, stuff like this. It's never worth it to spec for a grenade build on Titan. Grenade builds on Titan are nowhere near as powerful as a Warlock for grenade builds. Ashen Wake Titan mains, I'm sorry. It can't compete with melee-centric builds. I don't recommend it. This is off meta. It's not meta. Ashen Wake is off meta. It's not meta. Kind of powerful, but not that much. You're not going to use it for serious things. Are you going to take that into Conquest Avalon? Is there any Solar Titans here that can stand up and tell me that you done Conquest Avalon with Ashen Wake? Stand up. And I believe you're probably lying, even if you tell me that you have. Because you were definitely on Icefall Mantle or Prismatic Titan when you did that. There you go. That answers the question, isn't it? It's offensive, but it does tell you that, well, no, you wouldn't build for Ashen Wake. Armentarium's getting a buff. That's the same thing. I don't believe it's going to move the needle to use an Armentarium build. Melee builds are too strong on Titan. Too strong. Far too strong. Armentarium, who cares? Melee builds are too strong. So those are all the ways that you build for Titans. Weapon build, melee build. That's it. You need those locked in. Now let's talk about why Bolt Charge Titan is pretty important, even though that melee builds are very powerful. If you remember with Mythic Kepler, people used Bolt Charge Titans in Mythic Kepler. It was the best class. Because all the ads were so tanky, the ads were even almost bugged. They weren't bugged, but they had so much health. And Bolt Charge Titan, Crest of Avalupai come in clutch for that. High weapon stat, Outbreak perfected, and just leaning into a boss with a high damage exotic primary with Bolt Charge health, Crest of Avalupai. Sometimes we swap out this for Curious of Ornstar, but Crest of Avalupai is very good on that defensive gameplay style. If we need it in Renegades for anything, if there's something extremely difficult, boom, Bolt Charge Titan goes on. It's not fancy, but it gets the job done. Understand me now? And it's very good with 2-piece and 4-piece tech sec. I haven't got it fully set up for that. But I hope you understand that it works well because you're running a high weapon stat. You run a very high weapon stat on Bolt Charge Titan builds. You run a very high class stat. And you run a high super stat. So you use this. This is what I've got. Specialist, super class weapons. Specialist, super class weapons. Specialist, melee. I've got melee class weapons. So that's not a perfectly rolled Alpha Lupi. I would rather have had super Or grenade. You can maybe do a bit of grenade, a little bit. Yeah, I've got a specialist here as well. Superclass weapons, specialist. So it's all specialist. So that's why specialist is important to get a set locked in. Maybe one or two. Bit of smoke, bit of tech sec, bit of ion adapter, of course. Because you never know when we need Bolt Charge Titan again for something. We needed it in Edge of Fate launch. We might need it again for something. We don't know. Alright, but always have it in your back pocket. That's why Bolt Charge Titan is very important. And you build him differently. I hope you understand. You don't build him for melee. You don't build him for nade either. It's super class weapons. Right, now we move on. Let's move on. So, how to build melee builds properly for Titan. A lot of you, as I've said, are using Brawler pieces because Brawler gives you the most stat for melee overall. When you put a mod on with that Brawler, you get massive amount of melee energy off one piece. But its secondary stat's health, and I've just told you health is a dead stat. Health's dead stat. There's only sometimes you need health, and that's where we come to this one here. I haven't masterworked the army yet because I've run out of Ascendant Shards. I need to farm more Ascendant Shards. But I've got a piece here, yeah, with health, and another one with health, with melee and super luck. That's good. If I need to rock a tier 7 health stat for Lawless Frontier because the health is too much of a problem, I will rock in 2 pieces that will be either Brawler or Paragon. But in this case, these 2 Paragon pieces are acting like a Brawler piece or very similar. It will be this or a Brawler piece with health stat as secondary. I'm just explaining to you that if it does come to the day where it's like Conquest Avalon where we need health again, well, then I've got it in my back pocket. But that is far and few between scenarios. I don't think Lawless Frontier is going to be that hard. I don't think we're going to need to do this, lads. I think this is good enough. And this is the way I build melee. I do. Paragon, 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 Paragon. And it so happens to be that Inmost Light Simceps is a Paragon archetype as well. So we're doing melee super weapons, melee super weapons, melee super weapons, melee super weapons. And I've got the exact right archetypes that I want as well for 2-piece Ion and 2-piece Smoke. This is far better because even though if you've got 200 melee stat, you're using Brawler pieces, which means you've got a higher health stat and your weapon stat's lower. Whereas my build's better because I have 200 melee, or almost. I have 195... why have we got a grenade font here? What have we done there with that? Right, we've got 2 melee fonts on there, that equals 195. Because Orb of Power Pickup is instant, heavy-handed, boom, get it ready, straight away. Yeah? So we're gonna be rocking a 195 melee stat most of the time. But the upshot is, I've still got high super, I've still got high weapons. High weapon stat's very important, even on melee-centric builds. For what I do when I'm solo flawless in dungeons and stuff, I need that higher weapon stat. If I'm up against a lot of hard-hitting champs, it's good for that. When you whip out Mint, you do a bit more damage. When you whip out Parasite, you do a bit more damage. Very important that you don't run a low weapon stat. You will feel it. You will definitely feel it if you're rocking tier 4. And you're the player that can... No wonder you've complained about ammo. You've complained about special ammo now, used lads, for 3 months. And I haven't. Why is it that I have no problem with ammo and you do? I want to know the answer to that question, lads. Why is it that you lot are struggling for ammo and I don't? Because I'm really perplexed why. I'm fine with my ammo. I manage it perfectly. Right? I'm managing it as I want it. I'm managing it how I want to manage it. And I do double special weapon builds as well. And the answer is because I'm running a higher weapon stat than you. That really is it. You're using Brawler pieces on Titan and you're struggling. Because you've got a high health stat, high melee stat and nothing else. Your build's rubbish. It's only got those 2 stats. Rubbish, man. Rubbish. Super stat's so important to the game. It's so important as well. So this is how we build it. So you want to focus your Ghost mod to be Paragon. If there's anything you can take away from this time, mains, you need a lot of Paragon armor and you need it now today. You haven't got time to wait. If you're lacking a smoke jumper with Paragon, boom, you need to go and get it now. You need to do it now. Go and do Reclaim, get 6 drops. If you haven't got smoke jump, you are throwing really seriously on Titan as well. And with the Paragon set, not Brawler, you want to change your armor. Have you got time to do it? You've got 2 days or so. I don't know when the game's going off before Tuesday, but you've got time. So go and do it, right? This is why it's so important. So we've explained how to build for melee builds properly. Obviously, I wouldn't have to use Parasite. I might use Finality's Ogre. We don't know what I'm using. But I'm just explaining to you how we build for Titan properly. And that you shouldn't be building for grenade builds. Have some grenadier pieces in the vault. That's all you do it. But a grenadier build on Titan is not as strong as a grenadier build on Warlock. So it can't be justified. But a bolt charge specialist Titan build can be justified because there's times in the game when we need that, like I've said and explained to you. So I've explained what you need to focus on. The next portions are going to show you the loot cave farming for iron adapter and the tech sec and smoke jumper farm solo as well. Okay, so for the build and card portion of the video for the Fireteam Ops solo farm for smoke jump armor and tech sec armor sets, the boons are not very good today. They're not as good as yesterday, like we had Brawler and stuff. We've got Arc Surge, Airborne, and Hypercritical. We can buff a couple of elements of different weapons and supers and stuff with these. Airborne and Arc Surge stack with a good super on Titan. I'm using Pressure Cooker, Extinction Revives for a higher score. I don't need to do this. I can run any card I want and get 550 gear. I'm just doing it for the purpose for you to make you understand. If you are lower in power than me, make sure that you're using high run cards to get tier 5 gear. If you're like 460, 470 and stuff, you need to rock higher grades. So I'm covering my bases and saying this is what a high score run looks like. When you're 550, you can farm tier 5 gear easier by not having to run many mods. But it's in your best interest to run boons at all times at this minute in time, of course, with the situation with the portal. So it's inside terminus, of course. The build is Inmost Light Simseps on the exotic class item. Yeah, I am using it because, well, we can't put this off any longer. You know, I do use it and I don't use it for videos because sometimes I won't because I know that some people don't have it. If you haven't got this class item before Renegades, you really are in issues. As a Titan main, you've got a lot of issues going on at the minute. Zerd is in the tower. Roll the dice to get Inmost Light Simseps. You need to have it, man. It's the most important class item that you can ever get on Titan. And I'm not going to not use it because you don't have it. You know, you've just got to catch up with the rest of us and make sure you got it. If you want to do this on Solar Titan, here's a build for it. So I ran Simseps, Parasite, Mint, Samsung S7, right? But I didn't run that. For the Fireteam Ops run, we ran, as I say, Prismatic Titan with the Inmost Light Simseps combo. It's just devastating the amount of power it's got. The build is Thunder Crash because it stacks with Airborne and Arc Surge, Thruster. We've got Frenzy Blade, Shackle Grenade, Knockout and Consecration as aspects. Fragments are Facet of Ruin, Courage, Protection and Dawn. Here's the armor mods. There'll be a dim link, a lot of fonts and such, right? And weapons wise, we're using New Malpais, Samsung Galaxy S2 and Submersion, which does work with the Hypercritical mod when you hit your crits and such. I'm using an aggregate charge version with charge bolts, very nice for barrier champions and stuff, but New Malpais obviously covers that basis. This weapon's very good with 1-2 punch, especially for melee centric builds. Yeah, and artifact what matters? Not a lot, to be honest. These are what the artifact mods are. I'm not going to cover too much because we are explaining stats at length in this one. That's just what I ran for this. Okay, so here is the Smoke Jump and Tech Sec Solar Farming segment. Like I say, if you've got bonus drops on Reclaim, do that. Once they are exhausted, maybe do some Inside Terminus farming or Solo Ops farming. But if you just want to do Inside Terminus only, you can absolutely just do that, right? Just make your way to this starting section. There's no OP mods on today, really. We've got Airborne, Arc Surge on, Hypercritical. Look at this. Look what happens here with this. Barrier teleports. Look at the charge bolts. Boom. Look at that shield break. Exhibit A of why charge bolts is the go-to on Submersion. There you go. Look at that. So we're going to get a shackle here on this barrier champ. Remember, for prismatic gameplay, you don't start with many melee charges, so you've got to manage it at the start. Look at the damage we do there with the bow. Remember, Hypercritical's on. Works very well. Hypercritical works very well with the crossbow. Yeah. We've got a DOT. Look at the DOT taking down the barrier shield. And just work on these champs. Don't kill every ad in this room. You don't need to. It's unnecessary. Just all the champs and a couple of the goblins and move about your day. You don't need to kill every single ad in that room. Just a few of them. Because Inside Terminus is very favourable for score. It's the easiest score run in Fireteam ops. And I don't know why you're not using it. There's tricks and cheeses in this. You may as well take advantage of it. It's been in the game 3-4 months. It'll be in the game for another 4 months at this stage. T-Crash right here. Boom, Arcborn and Airborne, Arc Surgeon, Airborne will stack together to one-shot champs. Yeah, it's just more favourable. So T-Crash that champ there and move about your day. 2,000 points, bottom right-hand corner reference. Make sure you got about 2,000 points, you're doing good. Any more than that, it's too much. You're overcommitting to points, you don't need much more than that. Yeah, 2,000 is enough. Okay, now get to the played section. I'm not going to do the plate exploit that I showed you in the Warlock on the Warlock run because you don't need to do it. I'm literally just going to kill the dogs, gladiators, and 2 champs and move about my day. Don't need to do it. There's so many points in Inside Terminus. It's so easy. Look at that. Look at that consecration slam there. Nice. Okay, I'm going to stun with shackle because it's more of an instant stun. Look, stuns both champs quickly. And I'll just get rid of them. I'm actually looking to build a bit of super energy up. Look at my super energy. That's why I'm using new Malpice, which, by the way, does stack with Airborne. If you detonate new Malpice as you jump in the air, you get the Airborne buff. Common sense to me, but not everybody will know it. And I like to give you these details. Because if I don't tell you, I don't know who will. So someone's got to look after you. All right. So make your way to this first section here. This, second main room. And you're looking to shoot the final boss. You're looking to shoot the boss. Shooting the boss now speeds up this room. You will get less points, but you're going to get enough points to get A+ regardless. So don't worry about it. Shoot the boss. Boom. Get rid of him. Spawns the unstop in quicker. And then you're going to consecration slam some of the ads. If you're on bonk, then use bonk. That's fine. I've got a T-Crash to use. Do I use it? Yeah, I do. Right. Use your T-Crash here now. Boom. There we go. Barrier's done. No brawler on today. No brawler. Stun the unstop in middle. Get in with your melee. The bow, clean him up. And you can pick up your ammo. Pick up the arc charge. And we're going to dunk the charge immediately. I have a transcendence to use. So I'm going to transcendence spam all of these ads. Kill this champ here first. Drop relic. Drop relic first though. I'm going to get a nice shackle on. Yeah, I missed my crit. Damn it. That would have one-shot him as well. With hypercritical, you get less body shot damage and more crit damage. So, sorry about that. I missed my crit. I think I missed my crit twice. 2 or 3 times in this room. That's fine. It's alright. It's alright. So, now you get your dunk. Go to middle with amplified. Yeah, and you're going to consecration on both champs. You'll stun the unstop and kill the barrier. With new Malpice. Yeah, all the crossbow up to you. Pick up the relic immediately, then pop transcendence now. Right now. Drop relic. Pick it up, then drop it. You're going to then use Transcendent Spam to kill all these barrier champs. I've got a T-Crash to use. I'm going to use it right now. This champ was unfortunate how he shielded it like that, but that's okay. Now I'm going to pick the relic up again. I've still got Transcendence meter and it is depreciating quickly, but I'm going to use the back end of Transcendence after this relic dunk. I have 7,000 points, which is more... Well, it's not quite enough, but it will be enough once I kill all these champs. Boom. Back end of Transcendence. Get rid of the barriers. The barriers will chase you at the back of the map. And you're not going to go just yet. Get 8,000 points. Bottom right-hand corner point reference, 8,000. That's all you need. Yeah? Use the crossbow. Use your melees. I haven't got Proc Sword on here, I don't think. No, I didn't have it on. Doesn't matter, though. We're only doing Inside Terminus. It's no big deal. Get 8,000 points. Boom. There you go. Look at that point reference. And just escape. You don't need to kill the rest of the ads. You don't need to kill all the ads. You're overcommitting to points. You can do this in 8 minutes. I'm doing this casually in 9. Not really thinking about it. In actual fact, you could probably do this in 7 minutes. 7.5 minutes. If you were to, tell me to put Eager Edge Sword on and lock in, I could do a 7.5 minute run today. But it doesn't matter. What matters is explanations of armor stats and how to farm them. Yeah, that matters much, much more than me just speedrunning Inside Terminus. I've already speedrun Inside Terminus many, many times on the old GM rotations. I've done all the speedrunning right. I'm alright with that. The video isn't about me, it's about you, remember. It's about you and getting you up to speed with things. Get rid of those goblins and now you're going to jump over here and you're going to shoot all the ads with new Malpice. Shoot the Hydra and shoot as many Minotaurs as you can. Even do a detonation if you want. Yeah, that's going to give you a score. Look, 8-3 to 9-4-09. Over 1,000 points. There you go. Make sure you do that. It's critical to the run. If you don't, you're not going to get good score. For those who are still needing high score runs, this matters to you. For 550 power players, it doesn't matter as much. Because you can get 550, you can get tier 5 gear for free at 550, as I've explained to you before. Okay, start clearing dogs. Use a consecration slam if needed. I've got super full transcendence. Remember, Arc, Surge and Airborne is on. So we're going to take advantage of that, right? We should probably proc Facet of Courage. No, I don't think I do. I don't think I bother with it. So I do my crit. Am I T-crashing? What am I doing here? Now I T-crash, alright. So yeah, T-crash finishes it off. So did you see the damage we did with the crossbow there, though? I know it's hypercritical, but it was nice damage nonetheless. Yeah, and then you're going to cap the plate. Definitely use your T-crash because you're going to get it back. Save Transcendence for plate cap if needed. For players with less skill, you'll need to pop a Transcendence for Gladiators. They might kill you. I pop it here. I actually get pretty weak here, damn. I get pretty weak there for some reason. That's fine though. Got our Transcendence popped. And it's a good way of building super energy for next phase and to defend the plates. If players are really struggling, pop on a machine gun. You don't have to run submersion. But you can just use, you could even use Thunderlord instead and use Mint Retrograde in your kinetic slot. You could do that. There's no argument against it. It's not strict, this. Yeah. Some people, when I show you a build, you think it's so strict. You think it's very rigid. A lot of you players are stiff necks. Very stiff on yous. It's like when you see a build and you see something, you lock into it too heavily. You think too much about it. You're like, oh damn, he's used this. That means I must. And that isn't always. If there's something that is paramount to a run, I will explicitly tell you that it's paramount and you must do it. Or run a certain thing. Or a certain item. But if it's not paramount to the run, then you can interpret the run to your own needs and adjust that weapon loadout. No problem. A lot of things in the portal you can do that. Portal's easy, we know this. So you can adjust things. Cap the final plate. T-crash the final boss. Yeah, we're going to finish him off with new map. We're going to actually pop Transcendence, yeah. We'll just pop Transcendence just to quickly get it done. That's how you solo farm Fireteam ops. Remember, make sure you do your reclaims. Make sure you do your solo ops when there's bonus engram drops because you get more smoke armor, more tech sec. Yeah. Next segment will be how to show you farming for the ion adapter set via the loot cave. So for the loot cave build, I went with Solar Bonk Titan because it works actually rather well. Prismatic Titan would work very well in there as well. Let's just quickly run over what I got on. Hammer of Soul, Rally Barricade, Thrown Hammer, Healing Nade, Soul Invictus, Roaring Flames, Ember of Torches, Ashes, Solace, Empyrean. We've got Mint Retrograde on, Samsung Galaxy S6, Winter Bite, because it does stack with melee stat, and we're rocking a high melee stat, and I've got Simperceps on as well. I just figured I'd put it on. It actually is handy in there, right, in the loot cave to actually run this Winter Bite on Kepler. Yeah, we're running base Simperceps, of course. He's the armor mods. There'll be a dim link for this, right? Artifact mods don't matter too much for this one, so I don't even need to cover it. Yeah, but that was the build for the loot cave. Okay, so first step, load up the Kepler and the vendor and focus the item that you want. Whether it be helmet, chestplate, gauntlets, whatever it is. Make sure it's iron adapter. If you've not unlocked iron adapter, you need to do it now. You need to get it done. With Renegades coming up, I don't know why you haven't done that yet. Make sure you do it. Mythic quests got nerfed. The difficulty got nerfed a while back now, 2 months ago or so. Make the route on screen to the loot cave. I still hear blueberries to this point in time saying, I don't know where the loot cave is. And I'm thinking, well, maybe Bungie should have made a sign up in here, right, and said, it's one-way route to the loot cave, lads. There's no left turn at Albuquerque. There's no right turn at Hogwarts University or Eager Edge University for that matter. It's just one way, lads. It's one train to one distance to one location. There's no way you can't find it. If you can't find it, I don't know what to say to you. You might be beyond help at that point or stage. Make sure you've got the correct build on for what's coming up, though, of course, in this loot cave. Okay, so once you get to this area, you can just keep killing the ads. Remember, the armor is linked to orange bar kills. I think it's something like 30 orange bar kills, you get a piece. It's every 2 minutes or so you will get a piece. Make sure that you've picked up the vendor buffs for the tier 5 upgrade. Make sure you do that, because a lot of people are messing up with that, so that you get tier 5s. You can use Winterbite, yeah, you can use Bonk Hammer, right? You can use your melee abilities, your supers. Just keep going around. It's very, very easy. The hand cannon hits incredibly hard on these ads as well. You will get Banes in this room though, which is interesting. Sometimes Shrouded, sometimes even Screebers. But yeah, you're just going to keep going along, and you will eventually get a piece. It is, when you attune an item, it's weighted towards that item. It's not guaranteed, but it is weighted. As I said, you're looking for some nice pieces on Titan for Iron Adapter. Paragon, Paragon, Paragon. Yeah, and I got some Paragon pieces today, but it took a hell of a long time in this cave. The Bungie probably needs to buff the Ghost mod. They need to do it now, and they're not gonna either. So we're gonna go into Renegades with the same problem of being able to not farm stats properly. They should just open the gates and let people farm their stats what they want. Give them a path. So the Ghost mod should guarantee, if you want to focus for Paragon, the Ghost should say, right, every armor piece you get is now Paragon, including exotics. This RNG thing to stats is not good for the game long term. It needs to be addressed some stage. I played 4 hours of Loot Cave today and only got 2 Paragon pieces that were worth it for my playstyle. That's not good rates, lads. That's not good going. But at least there's somewhere to farm armor. I did get some other good pieces for Specialist Ball Charge Titan and such though. That's the Loot Cave. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you.